They do say that if you want something, you should speak it into existence. So, universe, I would really love to move to Bulgaria. And I know that I said I was going to wait until I had my paperwork before announcing where I plan to go. It is what I wanted to do, but alas, things have not gone as planned per se, and if I was going to do that, you guys would be waiting basically 3-4 months at that point, and I do think that is quite ridiculous. So I thought that I would just come out with it and tell you where I am, planning to move. I guess at this point I am currently on, I feel like I've been on the last stages of getting my paperwork for a while now, but I should be in the last stages of getting my paperwork before applying in person here at the consulate in Toronto. Now, one thing I want to point out before even getting into my reasons of why I chose Bulgaria is to let people know that Bulgaria is not the easiest country to immigrate to as someone from North America. If you have an EU passport, then you are golden, then it's not that hard at all. But for us Canadians, Americans, and probably most other countries, there's only a few specific paths you can take depending on your personal circumstance. Luckily, a couple of them apply to me. But as Marcella told me in my consult, which if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it up here. She's kind of been helping me with this. She did warn me that it would take a lot more paperwork and be a bit more complicated than, let's say, Albania. Like Albania was kind of sort of my second choice. And if I would have gone with that, it would have been a lot more streamlined to be able to just get a long stay visa. But I just felt like Bulgaria was the clear choice for me, so I was willing to put in the extra work and time to make it happen. While I'm not particularly happy about this delay in things, I will say there is an upside where I do get to spend more time here in Toronto and visit with all my friends, which has been very much needed. And second of all, what's really exciting is I ended up booking a tourism job with Tourism Calgary of all places. So I actually just flew back over the weekend to do this amazing 3-day adventure with them, and we'll probably have a video out about it for next week. So it kind of worked out that I was able to do that, and now I am back here waiting to receive the paperwork I need from Bulgaria, which will then allow me to make an appointment here at the consulate. But with no further ado, let me get into the actual reasons of why I chose Bulgaria as my top choice. I think it was more or less a mix between the fact that it fit a lot of my criteria, like it hit a lot of the boxes of what I was looking for. Plus, on top of that, I just intuitively felt inside that this was the next right move. Like, obviously, I don't know if I'm going to live in Bulgaria forever or something like that, but I just feel like for the time being, for what I am looking for this next step, this is the right choice for me. My second reason for choosing Bulgaria was certainly the social integration aspect, which I think is really underrated of just how important it is when moving to a new place. Obviously, with Bulgaria being in Eastern Europe, it's not that much of a stretch from my home country in Ukraine, and especially the fact that we are both Slavic cultures. Sure, there are many differences, and maybe I will be able to tell you guys more about that once I'm actually there, but just from my 2 to 3 month visit in 2020, I could feel that there was a lot of similarities and that this was a place that I could integrate into fairly easily. Another really big bonus is that the Bulgarian language isn't actually that different from Russian. Like, sure, there are definitely differences, and if somebody's speaking to me in Bulgarian right now, I probably wouldn't know what they are saying, but there are some words that are similar. And second of all, what's really great is that Bulgarian uses the Cyrillic alphabet. which I know how to read because I know Russian. So that's already a big step ahead that I have, that I can already read. I just don't understand what it means. Now, my third reason for choosing Bulgaria definitely came from the fact that it is just such a beautiful and diverse country. As I told you guys, I kept extending my trip how many times when I was there because I kept finding all these different places that I wanted to visit. Like, it had so much more to offer as a country than I initially thought before going there. Obviously, in my particular case, I will be stationed in Sofia because being the capital city, it has the best international airport, so I am easily able to, fly out to all the different countries that I need to travel to. It has the most going on, and it probably will have the largest amount of, other immigrants living there as well. So it will be a nice mix of being able to integrate with the locals, but also the other immigrants that live there as well. But yeah, back to the beauty of the country. I do think it has so much to offer because it has, I think, 2 mountain ranges. It has the Rhodope Mountains and the Pirin Mountains, like absolutely stunning hiking opportunities, skiing, snowboarding in the winter. Then obviously on the East Coast, we have the Black Sea. So in the summertime, you can go to like Varna or Sunny Beach. You can have a nice beach vacation on that coast of the country. And all in between, there's a lot of really charming historical cities like Plovdiv that I went to last time, Veliko Tarnovo, which I haven't been to yet. So just within the country, there's already a lot to see and do. It is very, very diverse. Now, my fourth reason for choosing Bulgaria probably comes as no surprise. It is, of course, the cost of living. I've said it before, but I guess I'll just say it again, that I am obviously in a very privileged position where my salary is in Canadian and US dollars. It would not be the same kind of situation if I was earning in the local currency in a regular job. It would not be as budget friendly. But just to give you guys a comparison of, in my last video here in Toronto, I was saying how my ideal living situation would be a 2-bedroom apartment. And here in Toronto, that would cost around 3,200 Canadian dollars. The same thing in Sofia, the capital city, for a furnished apartment, I should say. For whatever reason, all of their apartments come furnished. So in a way, that's a big bonus because you don't have to then buy your own furniture. So for a furnished 2-bedroom apartment in a really nice part of the city, nice modern apartment, it would go for around 1,300, 1,400 Canadian dollars. You could do even substantially less than that if you were willing to live in an older building, more on the outskirts of town. But personally, I'm fine with spending the extra money to get something really, really nice because it will double as a filming studio for myself. And also I want to be able to host friends and family when they come to stay. So I am willing to pay, a larger amount to have something really nice. As far as everything else, like groceries, a phone plan, transportation, like all of that is at least half of the price that it is here in Canada, like maybe even less for some things. And to be honest, a lot of the things are even better quality in my opinion. Like the food quality is substantially better in Bulgaria than it is here in Canada, obviously because we have a much shorter growing season and it takes so long to, ship things from warmer countries. Second of all, I think their public transit in Sofia is really great and will be what I will rely on to get around the city alongside walking and like taking an Uber or something to the airport. It will be super easy for me to get around Sofia with all of that. I don't see myself ever having to get a car. And my fifth reason, I'm sure you all saw coming as well, is of course the taxes. I did already mention this in my prior videos, but a big reason of why I wanted to move abroad is to lower my cost of living and to lower my taxes so I can invest more in my business, so I can put more money away every month for my future. So as far as taxes go, it is more or less a flat rate of 10%, which is so fantastic and so much more reasonable than the rates I feel we have here in Canada, for what we get at this point in time. But I do have to mention that that is without Social Security, which you can choose to pay into or not. Like, I know some people would just choose to opt out, but me personally, I will opt in once I am a permanent resident, and I think it's around 150 euros a month, which would include both their universal health care and then also paying a bit into the Bulgarian pension. But as I said before, like, I plan on putting my own money away for retirement, and I do have a feeling that I will be paying for healthcare more out of pocket or have some kind of private plan. My sixth reason certainly comes down to location and proximity, because being in Sofia, I actually have access to a pretty good international airport. Because when I was comparing the different flight options that were available from, let's say, Tirana, Albania, which was kind of my second choice, the options were substantially better from Bulgaria. There was a lot more availability, not only all over Europe, but also they have, close proximity to Istanbul, which is a major airport for all over the world, but now they also have a direct flight to Dubai, which has a lot of options to go to Southeast Asia or anywhere else in the Middle East. So as far as airports go, Sofia is pretty good, and because I see myself traveling primarily around Europe in the coming years, it will just be so perfect. Like, it will be so perfect to be able to fly for just an hour to get to the place that I want to go for like less than $100, and I don't have to travel for 6 months at a time as I have been before, because it isn't so expensive to be able to, go travel, come back, edit, relax, decompress, and then go travel again. Like, it's just a much healthier work-life balance than I've had in the last few years where I go for such long stretches. So I am really looking forward to that, and that's a big reason of why I wanted to live in Europe in general. Now, my seventh reason for choosing Bulgaria is the fact that it does have the road to permanent residency available to me. That's actually one of the reasons why a lot of other places got eliminated for me, like especially in Southeast Asia. Unless you were going to make an investment with one of their golden visas, a lot of places make it very complicated. And I'm not saying that in Bulgaria it's going to be a walk in the park either, but from my understanding, I do have, a good chance of being able to receive it at year 5 of having lived there, assuming everything goes well. Like, at this point in time, I will be entering on a Visa D, which I will be able to renew every single year. That gives me residence there for 1 year. So obviously we'll see how things go at that point in time, but it would just give me a lot of peace of mind that this is truly a place that I can call home, and that also I would feel more comfortable actually investing in real estate. And last but certainly not least, reason number 8 of why I chose Bulgaria is the fact that it really is a great digital nomad hub. Now, to be fair, there's actually not that many digital nomads who are living there, and if they do live there, they probably are in Sofia. And then also Bankso, which is where this really famous digital nomad summit takes place every single year. I do plan on actually going there in this coming year. But it really is a great choice, primarily because of its location, low cost of living, and third, almost most important for digital nomads, is that Bulgaria has really good and really fast internet. I was absolutely shocked when I first went there of just like how good their internet was, even up in the mountains, and how fast the upload speeds were even compared to here in Canada. So I think it will just be a fantastic place to work remotely from, and I do hope to make a lot of local friends and a lot of digital nomad friends, and just be able to have this as a great community home base where I just feel like I fit in. At the end of the day, that was the biggest reason of why I chose Bulgaria, is because I felt like this was the place out of all of my options where I would fit in the most. So those are my reasons, friends, my main ones anyway. There's all kinds of small reasons, but I think I gave you the major points of why I think Bulgaria will be such a good fit for me. Of course, many of you had already guessed it, and also thank you so much to all the locals who, could tell right away that I was talking about their country and have been so welcoming in me making this move. I am super excited and do have a feeling that things will go well, that I will be able to make my application soon, and I am confident that I will be accepted. So I will keep you guys in the loop with how things go. I probably will vlog my visa application experience, not the actual interview or anything, but I will tell you more about the process and the things that I had to prepare before making this move for anybody who is curious. As for next week's video, it will probably be my time in Calgary because it was just such a phenomenal trip. And obviously, I do think Calgary is such a great city. So stay tuned for that next week. Obviously, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you think about me making this move? And have you been to Bulgaria? What was your impressions? As always, I am sending you guys so much love. I hope you're having a fantastic day and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.